Just over a year ago, Lehman went bankrupt, and we had a financial crisis that many people feared would be as severe as the Great Depression. There now seems to be, particularly on Wall Street, a recovery. How real is that recovery?
Well, the stock market is pretty real. You have a good run because an awful lot of money is on the sidelines, and it earns no money at all, and gradually is being sucked in to the market, and that probably that process will continue for the rest of the year.
So you expect the market to continue rising to the end of the year?
I mean, one can't predict these things. You never know when the turn comes. But it seems that way because the lack of recovery in employment is going to assure that interest rates are not going to be raised. And at the same time, earnings are quite reasonably good, and there's a lot of money on the sideline. So I think those are actually favorable conditions for continued gradual market recovery, perhaps between now and the end of the year. However, the economy will continue to require additional stimulus in order to keep it going, because the recovery is basically fueled by the transfer payments and deficits that the government is running. And if those were withdrawn, then you would have a double dip in the economy. And so in order to avoid that, you will need continuing stimulus. Now, whether politically that's feasible or not remains to be seen, of course, because it does pile up the debt, and that means a burden for future generations. But the alternative would be another recession, or a longer-lasting recession.
How do you rate your own performance as an investor over the crisis, and what are you betting on now?
Well, I came out of retirement in order to preserve my capital, and I succeeded in doing that. And I've now gone back into retirement, and the fund is chugging along, and is giving a decent return, so I'm very satisfied.
You think the world is safe enough now for you to go back into retirement?
I don't think that I can contribute currently to running the fund because my knowledge now is increasingly out of date, and I had to use macro instruments to protect against the storm. Well, the storm has passed. You now have the aftermath of the storm. And now it is again a question of knowing individual companies, and my knowledge is now outdated. So it would be inappropriate for me to be in there.
It's not a question of also making judgments about the global financial arrangements?
Well, I also feel that actually I can probably contribute more than when I spend my time thinking about the system than trying to make more money. In other words, from the use of my remaining time, I think is better spent now on being concerned with reforming the system, because the system actually does require reforming, and I may have a contribution that I can make to it.